Rugby in South Africa is almost as good as it is here in Australia, but obviously better than in the UK. So,
I disagree with that. We're the current World Cup champions, so.
Yeah, you are. You are. I mean, I think the hierarchy is South Africa because you fizzed us in the World Cup, and then just this from 2003. Any Australians? Do you remember that one? I'm never getting invited on again, am I? Now, it's interesting because one thing that connects our two guests today is they both played professional rugby, albeit in slightly different eras. So in order to make that relevant to trading, James, do you think any sort of aspect of playing professional sports sort of helps you with your trading sort of discipline or anything like that?
Yeah, for sure. So I definitely think in the competitiveness. So obviously to be able to play at a high level of sports, the competitiveness is there. And I think that echoes into my trading. You got to, although in trading you're competing against yourself, you got to always be better than you were the day before. I find that really helps me in my trading. Always wanting to be better. And then as well as the decision making. So as I said, I'm an intraday scalper. I think the cool part about that is that it helps my decision making when I was on the rugby field, helps me make those quick decisions when on at the trading desk.
Yeah, absolutely. Shout out to the team you played for. Who was it?
I played for the Sharks here in Durban, South Africa.
Awesome.
As well.
Yep. Number 9. Michael, you played professional rugby. I know which team you played for, but I'm going to let you say. Do you think it brings anything into your trading?
Yeah, well, I was slightly ahead of the pro game and took an injury that stopped me becoming the pro. So my colleagues all got contracts, but I didn't. So I can't say actually pro, but I was there. Yes. The interesting thing about all high level sport is you learn that you need to work on your weaknesses. You need to identify your weaknesses and you need to work on your weaknesses. And most of all, you need to identify what your strengths are and work on your strengths to make them even stronger. So if you're the best tennis server in the world, you don't stop working on your tennis serve just because your backhand's a bit weak. You work on your backhand and you improve that and you work it and you work it and you work it. But at the same time, you work harder on your strength. So you become unbeatable on your strength and you become stronger on your weaknesses. And then you re-identify on a regular basis. So you will plan to re-identify what you're weak at and what you're strong at in different time frames and different ways over a period of time. And in that way you improve. And that is exactly the same when you're going about doing trading and learning trading. Work out what you're good at. Don't worry about everybody else. Work out what you're good at and do that better and keep getting better at that. Find out what you're weak at and improve that and keep working at that. And there'll be 30 different processes in trading that you'll need to write down and say what they are. And then you pick out what you're best at, the top ones, and what you're weak at, and work at those. And you take those steps, you will become a much better trader, a much better sportsman, a much better person, a much better husband, a much better wife, a much better this, a much better everything. It's how to get on with doing things well. It's a standard approach, but it really gets rammed into you in professional sport.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I think that's both a very valuable input, and it is almost like those incremental games, isn't it? Rugby in South Africa is almost as good as it is here in Australia, but obviously better than in the UK. So,
I disagree with that. We're the current World Cup champions, so.
Yeah, you are. I mean, I think the hierarchy is South Africa because you fizzed us in the World Cup, and then just this from 2003. Any Australians? Do you remember that one? I'm never getting invited on again, am I?